Yeah, we're just getting started. Yeah, it takes a little bit. I have to do some configuration issues here with the light. There we go. All right. Okay, so we are here, yes. Getting into the chat room. Welcome to the kitchen show. I've got pretty much too much light coming in here, so I'm going to turn this down a little bit. Let's turn it up. There we go. So I'm sure you can hear me. It's just a question of how clear. I'm getting into the chat room right now. Today we're going to be making a beef stew. Yeah, so should be good. Got some beef I picked up here for a song. $4.60 for this piece of meat. Yeah. So we're gonna get the beef stew going here. I think the total cost here is going to be probably about $8. Let's take a look at what we got. $4.62 for the meat. All right, and then I've got this is about 50 cents. I managed to get that. I've got some vegetables, onions for another 50 cents, so $1 there. Potatoes, another sweet potato, another $1. So we're up to right around $6.62. And then I'm going to add a little bit of this. I got for $1.49. I'm going to add half of this vegetable broth. So should be good. We'll get started. So it's $7. So that's $7 for 4 people. Beef is getting expensive. Yes, it is. All right, we'll bring that in. $7 for 4 meals. Okay, let's make it happen. Yeah. Hope everyone's doing well. The first thing about a stew is you're going to go ahead and heat this up to level 3. Actually, I'm going to take it to level 6 really fast. I got a new Farberware, or not new, but used. $4.99 for that. I need a little bigger surface for the stew prep. Yeah, I go to thrift stores to buy this is incredible stainless steel. I use it, I've been using it for decades. With stew, you're going to need 2 small onions. And I guess any other vegetables you might have in the refrigerator. I've got some broccoli stock, cauliflower stock, little things that you just normally don't throw away. Leek would be good, yeah. Red bell pepper, yeah, I'd go with a red bell pepper. I went with an orange one today because it was the closest one to the front of the bag. Okay, I'm going to chop up these onions. Get started there. Now, it's a stovetop type of prep, so everything goes very slow at virtually simmer. So you don't have to really worry too much about cooking it too fast. It's almost like a slow cooker, but slightly faster. You know, those crock pot recipes are pretty good for stews, that's for sure. This, I'm going to turn it on a kind of a slow simmer, and it's just going to cook while I'm in the show. But the first thing you want to do is sear the meat. And one of the most important ingredients to searing the meat would be the onion. And I'm going to throw some garlic in here too. So, yeah, just to get that nice taste on the meat right away. And most people don't recommend salting the meat prior. There's going to be salt in the broth that I put in there. So I will prep this right now. Fairly nice big pieces. Doesn't have to be very small. I'm going to put these in just to throw them in there. I'm going to throw a little oil on this. Olive oil. 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And like I said, the recipe calls for paprika, so I've got some up here. There we go. Hungarian paprika. Okay, and I'm going to put basically one onion in there just to get started. Get the pan going. Get that nice and hot. So, this is like $1 off times 2, and it's a beef chuck steak, boneless, marinated flank steak. Oh, there's a recipe for that in there. Well, I don't need to do that. It's basically a piece of chuck roast. This looks very good, looks very fresh. I'm going to go ahead and put some paprika on it, lightly. And then I picked up this no salt McCormick's garlic and herb. I'll put that on there. Okay. And then I'm just going to throw it in the pan on high, level 6. Face down. You can leave the pan slightly off. You don't want to steam it. Just kind of cook it really hard. And the idea is to kind of caramelize each side nicely before you turn it into a stew. The goal is not to cook the meat, it's to sear the meat. Right. Oh, I left my coffee in the other room. Dang. Okay, I'm going to pause the record. Okay. You can hear it steaming, or rather searing right away. I'm going to go ahead and flip it over in just a bit. I'm going to do the other side with the seasoning. Now, you can put a little pepper on this right now if you want. You don't want to use too much paprika, just a little bit. Just dust it lightly. All right. Need to get a nice big garlic out of here. Put a couple garlics in there today. It's searing right now. Okay, I smashed the garlic. We'll put one right down with the meat right now, nicely diced. Okay, put that on the top of the meat that you're going to flip. Okay, flip the meat. Nice. Nice little browning going on. All right, now comes the peeling stage. You prep that garlic with the other onion for a little bit later. All right. I'm going to cover it slightly. I'm still cooking at a very fast temp. Going over here, we're going to go ahead and do some peeling. Peel some potatoes. Always keep your eye on the peeler when you peel, because that can peel your finger off if you're not careful. All right. Rotating. Yeah, if you peel right into a blank area, you can always pick up the peelings later. You don't have to be too worried about where they land. This is not CGI, so the peelings are not being added later. Here, I guess I'm off camera. There we go. Hey, great. Looking good. That's one way to hold it, you know, kind of like a little finger. I'm going to go with a sweet potato too, because Sarah likes sweet potatoes. I'll put that in there. Okay, right around now is when you want to turn that flame down to like simmer. All the way down. We're going to dice the potatoes slightly in thirds or halves. I'm going to go thirds. And I get these carrots, they're already pre-made. You go in there with the potatoes. Throw them right on top of the meat. And I'm going to do some dicing of the cauliflower here and the broccoli just for flavor. The cauliflower stalk is full of vitamins, so you can't lose with that stuff in your stew. It's full of vitamins, really good vitamins for you. Cauliflower and broccoli are considered cruciferous vegetables, which are very helpful for preventing, let's just say, improving your immune system. That's one way to look at it. And always look at the knife. Never take your eye off the knife. I'm going to throw that other onion in on top of this. So, okay, and then more garlic. Okay, we'll throw all these vegetables in. Kind of bisect the cauliflower. I'm going to put them all in the pan right now. Start up. You can start to cover the whole thing up now. And I'm going to go ahead and peel the rest of the sweet potato. All right. And now I'm going to put little slices, not as big as the potatoes, but still in all, like that much. Okay, we'll throw that in there. And then I'm going to do 2 more potatoes. Now Del Monte makes some cut green beans you can get non-GMO. They're pretty good. If you want to get them, they have no salt products as well. That's something you could throw in if you didn't have any vegetables. It's just an idea. I'm not going to do that. I didn't factor that in, but they're like $1.50 a can, and they're non-GMO, which is a nice thing. I know Del Monte is making concerted effort to go in that direction, which I have a lot of respect for them for that. And I think with potatoes, you really can't lose. If you have more people to cook for, just add more potatoes. Sarah doesn't like potatoes because they're a nightshade vegetable, but whereas sweet potatoes are not, which is fine, whichever you prefer for whoever you're cooking for. All right, getting done. I'm showing you how to do fast prep in the kitchen and not have to worry about spending the rest of the day in the kitchen. So. Now, as with all my meals, I do add Italian seasoning for the topper, Okay, we'll do 3 here and 2 there. Okay, we'll put that in the pan. There we go. And finally, the pepper. And that's going to go on the top with some Italian seasoning. And then I'm going to put broth on top of the whole thing. Leaving it on a simmer for the next hour and a half, I will have a wonderful meal. And whenever you get these things, you got to knock them down like that and bounce them on the breadboard and then kind of sweep it away with the knife. That gets the seeds out. You don't want seeds. Sarah does not like seeds in her dinner. All right, let's go ahead and do this. Nice big chunks. You don't have to go with anything small because everything kind of melds together in a stew. Now, some people put celery in stews. I don't like it. I'll go with carrots and sweet potatoes for that extra flavoring. I wouldn't put raisins in there, unless you're really unless you want to make a sour braten potatoes, which I have made. I actually made my grandmother's recipe of sauerbraten. Okay, I'm going to put this in the pan now, right on top. Just spread it out, looks very pretty. And I'm going to put some pepper and Italian seasoning I get for $1 at the Walmart. Very good, 98 cents, very good quality. Now, I think I'm going to take one of these peppers and just kind of break it apart. I give it a good amount of Italian seasoning. No more than a half a teaspoon, but I think I'm going to take this pepper and break it, kind of like dice it. Just for flavor. Just kind of push it in there. You can do that if you want with some of the pepper, I suppose. Okay. Being it's on simmer, I'm going to go ahead and pour the half of this container of vegetable juice in here. Do a shake. This will make 2 meals of something else. You could make it, another type of meal like a chicken. One way you can tell if it's a half of a container is if you're holding it like this, and there's an even line right across the top here. That's about it. Right from there to there. Okay, that's it. Kind of a diagonal line. And that has to be refrigerated, and you need about a week in the refrigerator. I mean, it'll stay for a week, but it may stay for 2 weeks, but I wouldn't risk it. Okay, that's it. You got salt in that, and you're all set to go. How about that for a quick prep, huh? Whoa! You see my feet? No. Yeah, so I'm going to leave that on simmer and just let it set for the time when I'm in the show. Let me grab all this compost and get this out of here. And I always compost. It makes it very, very convenient to compost instead of doing it after the meal. Do it while you're cooking. You don't want to major cleanup when you cook. It's one of the ways people burn out on cooking, unless you have somebody cleaning up after you. Like somebody in your family does the dishes and wants to clean the kitchen, then don't bother with anything, But you really are wise to do that so that when you're done eating, you don't have to do some more work. Because if you're a chef and you cook as much as I cook, you don't want to have to deal with the work aspect later. Because that's the part that people burn out on. The thing that makes everybody, dislike cooking is the work factor. Now with the breadboard, very simple, just rinse it right off. And you don't want to cut meat on a breadboard ever. And that's clean enough. You don't want to cut meat on a breadboard. It's bad for business. Yeah, you can get a lot of, bacteria grow. Okay, so I'm going to make another. I was watching this microwave thing the other day, and I said, "Oh, it won't affect your transmission." I walk 5 feet away from the microwave, minimum. So I'm over here now, but I think it does affect your transmission. I'm going to make another cup of coffee here, and then I'm going to go into the show. But yeah, wasn't that easy? And the dinner virtually can be done in less than 30 minutes, slowly cooking on the stove for 2 hours. So I think I'll be eating around 7:30. So yeah, 2 hours on simmer, it should be good. And the potatoes will fully cook. I'm going to start out on low actually and kind of take it down a little bit. Okay, I don't know if there's an interference going on, but I'm going to stop that and put that in here. Get that started. And then we'll finish off with one more second round on the curry. Sarah's family got me this. Isn't that cool? She came back from the trip with a whole box full of these curried cups for me. Yeah, it was a nice gift, I thought. Yeah. Hey, so that's David's Kitchen wrapping up here. The dinner is on the stove. It'll be ready in 2 hours. But that's more than enough to feed 4 people. You might want to take it up to 6. Let's do 6. Yeah, I think we could fit 6 people out of this meal. Okay. In the words of Julia Child, bon appetit! I will see you in a bit. In about a minute, I'll be in the other room. Take care. Okay, that's it. I'm Mr. Rice, signing off. See you in a bit.